Hi everyone, welcome back, and thank you so much for tuning in to another amazing episode of Holding Court with the Empress of WeHo. My name's Enoch Miller, and I'm your hostess with mostess, and wanted to let everyone know that I finally upgraded from basic bitch status to drag queen status. Thank you. So we're now officially correct, But we want to take a special thank you to our sponsors here for GayLifeLA.com and also White Rabbit Partners that help provide this amazing studio that we have here today. And we're really excited. And if you haven't yet, get your latest issue of West Hollywood Magazine. It's a really great issue for a summer guide. So all the things you want to know about where to go, eat, shop, stay, play around the community for the summer. Great place to check it out is just this. It's available at most of the hotels, a lot of different places around town. If you need any questions on where to go find one, just shoot us a message and we can help you out. So thank you again, West Hollywood Magazine, GayLifeLA.com, and White Rabbit. So I want to welcome my amazing guest, Steve. So Steve Andrews, also known as DJ eur-O-steve. And from what I heard from a certain queen was that I initially thought you were from Australia because the accent was a little bit like kind of hard to tell.
Yeah. True,
but
true.
But she's like that bitch is from like the dirty part of some southern country of like those armpit of Australia.
Right.
And I'm just like, wait, he's Australian? She's like, oh no, he's Welsh. And I'm like, oh, okay. That explains it. So you're from Wales.
Yeah.
So what Cowbridge is the name
I
of the
know.
city?
It's like middle of nowhere. It's like a farming community.
Okay.
And I loved it. It was
And it's
beautiful.
Southwest Wales, right?
Yes. So yes, Southwest. That's right. Yes. Yeah.
What's the closest like city that most people will
So
think of?
it's about because it's rural, so it's easy to get to places. It's about half an hour from the capital city of Cardiff.
Okay.
So if you want to go crazy clubbing, it's really accessible.
Okay.
The nightlife in the city was really amazing.
Oh, really? And in Cardiff?
In Cardiff, but then and I think it's the same in the US because we're all farming community and we're all farming kids together growing up.
Got it.
We would rotate and we would strip a farm barn at each of our farms and throw these huge parties.
Oh, really?
And it was just crazy. And when I look back, I'm amazed at my parents. I mean, I always remember they had one rule because it was an old farmhouse we lived in. There was only one key, and it's like something out of Harry Potter, right?
Okay.
And so they said,
England,
if you're
of course.
not coming home, you just have to tell us because we need to lock the door, right?
Okay.
Because you couldn't take the key out.
Got it.
And then, of course, I was flagrant as a child, and I 5 minutes past like 3 a.m. or something, and I see my mother run the gap in the curtains, run to lock the door, to teach me a lesson. It's freezing cold, and I'm sleeping in the car, and I'm running out of petrol because the car's running with a heater. So I learned fast.
So by doing these basically barn parties, did you find your love for DJing during that time?
No, I hated at that time that people messed with singles, right?
Oh, really?
They
Okay.
remix things, which is when you go to a club, it's not playing like the top 40 or something. And I was like, why do people mess with this? It just in my teens, it was just like driving me crazy. So at that point, no, I was really adverse to it.
Okay. So what? Because I mean, it's a big jump from Wales to. Now, did you move from Wales to California, or did you go stop somewhere in between?
So I didn't. I finished school and I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Right.
And the normal thing in Europe is you finish school,
you go to university,
and then but you always move away, right?
Oh, okay.
You always go because it's funded. We're pretty spoiled, right? You don't have, you're pretty huge student loans, so I really appreciate that now. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I have a sister; she's a couple of years older than me, and she was a party girl. And I went to her graduation and saw how amazing, the social scene was. And this was like 2 or 3 years after I left school. I was like, oh. And I said to my parents, I don't think I'm going to go to university. And they were so happy, thinking that, I was trying to sort myself out. So I ended up in the south of England in like a beach town, much like Santa Monica.
Because you went to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Bournemouth?
Which was the #1 rated nightlife town for its students.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, it had a big university.
Got it.
And it was a tourist town. So, meaning in the winter, there's no tourists. So the nightlife would then turn on for the students.
Got it.
The nightlife was insane.
There's a lot of places that are like that, where they have big college communities and then a big tourist community.
It balances out the whole year for the business, right?
That sounds really good.
And it was nuts, in a great way. And, there were 7 of us in this house, and one of those people was a DJ from London who like he would DJ, I think 1 or 2 nights a week in London, and we became really good friends. So I would go back with him. It was about an hour drive to help him work, and that's when it opened my eyes.
And so, what really intrigued you in the very beginning about DJing in general?
Well, I mean, we were really close friends, and he was such a perfectionist.
Oh, okay.
Meaning that, you know, I would be with him, and he'd be like, oh, I could get so frustrated. I thought that sounded perfect to me. But, you know, he was so
meticulous.
OCD
Got it.
And this was, again, you know, with vinyl and old school mixing, no computers, you know, no bells and whistles in that sense.
So this is when Steve was old.
Just
a little bit. So I mean, so you guys were literally like doing like the kind of, I don't want to say retro because I don't want to make you sound that old, but
how dare you,
girl. But was it still like just kind of where you guys would like scratch CDs and do the vinyl?
Let's just even be. I mean, you know, CDs was there.
Sorry,
out.
vinyl.
No. But right, no, I'm just thinking now. So CDs were domestic. You know, people buying.
Right.
But I didn't notice, and it's a good question. I'm trying to think now. DJs weren't using them at that time. Not commonly.
Right.
So it was still vinyl.
Yeah, because I know there was that weird transition because it went to vinyl to CDs, and then you'd see these DJs come in with like these huge books of just like CD after CD after CD of everything they've collected.
Exactly.
And I've seen a couple friends that have like
all the labels.
Oh, it's like everything. Well, it cracks me up watching Lady Bunny DJ because she still uses this.
She is, and I love
that. She still does it, and she just flips through her thing.
And just all nonchalant.
Yeah,
it's just wonderful.
And she's sitting there, she's like, "Hold on, bitch, I got my next song. I got to get my next one." And it just cracks me up.
So much respect for that. Oh my gosh.
Well, but that's the thing is like a lot of people didn't realize you. I mean, and plus a lot of those one song would sometimes take up an entire CD because all the mixing and the changes you guys did to it.
But even before that, so with vinyl, they were freaking heavy.
Well, yeah, I
even
can
also
imagine.
the CDs, and they would come in milk crates, right? Which is how that term comes, you know, still in the DJ world, crate. Yeah. And you would just put your back out because you have to, you know, you'd have to load in. And so you're zapped, you know, energy-wise there. And at the end of the night, I think, crap, now I've got to, like, pack all this stuff up and load out again.
Well, how big were the displays you guys had to use for the vinyls? Were they, I mean, because
I mean, the crates were like this.
Okay.
But they're so dense because you pack them in. They're really, really heavy.
Would you usually just do one crate and have all your songs in there? Or
you would have a couple of crates.
Okay.
But to your point, you put in one crate what you were sort of roughly going to pick from.
Got it. And so you just kind of kept it there.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I guess the machinery you guys use, because it's very different nowadays than this, because now it's pretty much a laptop. You have a soundboard, a smaller, like the soundboard's even smaller now than they used to be. Yeah. Everything's almost always on your laptop, and then you just kind of plug in and then do your stuff from wherever there.
I mean, you know, and there's this constant sort of commentary and argument about not really DJing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you know, things evolve, we change, and you know, some people don't want to change to digital, which is totally fine because it is an art form. But to me, it's still an art form, whichever way you do it.
Right.
So I think it's unfair to knock people that, you know, use a laptop versus someone who carries.
Well, and also depends on the type of DJ and the type of music you play with.
Making people move, that's all it is.
Exactly.
And that's what I say. It's like if people are enjoying it, then you need to stop complaining.
And the great thing about West Hollywood too, especially, is not just West Hollywood, the LA community as a whole. I mean, we have a litany of DJs in the area. Yeah. I mean, just off the top of my head, we have Donna, who's always there, the Perry Twins, you, Paulo Ramirez, Brandon Wild.
You have like Ben as well,
Woody.
Wonderful Woody, and you have Casey.
Right.
It's just
the list goes on, and the great thing because it's like there's so much, especially the only reason I think West Hollywood so much, and now downtown a little bit more too, but we just have so much nightlife here, and there's so much this hospitality, and people are constantly that.
Exactly. So true that you get that concentration.
Now, did the whole aspect of LA in general being an entertainment capital draw you to here, or what really draw you to Los Angeles?
Okay, so again, this is like a cultural difference. So you know, in Europe and UK, you go to school, and that's local. You know, much as it is here, like high school and stuff. Right. And again, when you go to university, it's just I don't know why, just you always move to another city.
Got it.
Just the way it is. Just, you know, to find yourself and break away from your parents.
Yeah, right.
You know, socially
grow up and be an adult. Shit.
Yeah. It's just the norm. And then the same thing happens after you finish university. You move again for whatever career or job you go to.
Okay.
So I finished school, and I had an internship here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. So backing up, you know, you do 3 years of uni.
Right.
You do a year, internship placement, and you go back and you finish another year.
Right.
Then again, it's like a part of that cycle. So I had one here, and you know, it was bit like a mini Whole Foods. They had like an independent, but they had like stores and they had coffee shops.
Okay.
Dotted around the city, like from Santa Monica Street City, West Hollywood.
Okay.
So I was working for them for a year.
Doing
and that was that was
doing
working in tech for them.
Okay.
So I have the sort of Microsoft tech background.
Right. Because that's what you do right now. You're with I looked it up. It was the Microsoft Practice Director. Prosum.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's like
very similar to that.
Yeah. It is. But
Okay.
it's like this, when I've sort of learned, you have two sides of your brain. Like one's creative and one's the opposite, right?
I think your whole brain's just gay as fuck. That's
it's totally fruity.
It's just fruity as fuck.
But like if I so I have my tech job, which I love because it's all toys, and bells and whistles. But the DJing is creative, and I can't paint or pick out. I don't have that gay gene of like knowing my dress sense is just missing altogether.
Well,
so
I know
the DJ,
Billy tries to dress you, and that's
God,
a nightmare.
I know, and Stefano tries to do it, Ryan tries to do it. It's the worst
nightmare. No, I would love to see Ryan try to dress you. That would actually be really cute.
Actually, it's the only time in my life where I've had a migraine. The two of them took me shopping for a day.
Stefano and Ryan?
And they'd shove me into fitting rooms and throw stuff at me. And I hated it. I was like getting so stressed out.
I usually see you, it's tennis shoes, pair of shorts, and a t-shirt or a tank top.
I swear I would wear like my monster slippers and come in a moo-moo if I could get away with it. But then I get shouted at.
Oh, really?
I get shouted at by Stefano, Ryan, and Billy if I'm not wearing the right thing.
Oh, my God. Okay. Well, you're also not Trixie Mattel, so I would not have you show up in a moo-moo for sure. That would be...
Which I have the highest respect for. Like, I want to wear that. I want to be that comfortable.
So you're doing... No, you're fine. You're doing the internship.
Yes.
Doing tech.
Yeah, internship in tech. So sorry, left and right side of the brain. If I don't DJ for on a regular basis, it drives me crazy.
Oh,
because it's sort of balancing
like an outlet.
Got it. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
So anyway, doing that. So I did the internship, then went back, and again, tech you can do it anywhere.
Oh well, yeah. Everyone has it.
It was here, Cape Town, Hong Kong. And those were the choices, and I think I literally just went with my gut.
Okay.
Because the people I worked for were just amazing, and it was so fun, and it was a gay-owned and operated company.
Oh,
I'm
that's
still
fantastic.
friends with them now, and the fantastic thing was everyone in the team in the organization was from a different country or different race.
Okay.
So
very diverse across the board.
One. There was like one American, for example.
Oh, wow.
And there was every country you could imagine because it was a culinary business, and they wanted to have diversity.
That's fantastic.
And the most amazing cultural awakening.
Well, yeah, I can imagine.
Because, it would give a HR person a nightmare because we were all so racist to each other. But it was all with humor. And you didn't have a leg to stand on. You couldn't bring up about anyone. And it was just so refreshing because they would call me cracker and all of these during the day. And it was such a sweet environment of not worrying about offending someone. And
That's
usually with the language, humor is the last thing you get.
Well, true. Because there's so much the barrier and people
like
from somewhere. Right.
Sarcasm and but these people, like, that was the first thing.
That's
they
great.
were just being sarcastic and mean to me as how I was to them.
That's
it was a great experience.
Well, and that's the thing. You want an atmosphere where you feel like you're your people. It's you're fun, you're sarcastic, you're silly, you guys all have a good time.
And these people are like, and I'm so close to them now. There's a couple from France, and they did a gig for JPL, and they made planets out of sugar, and these huge sculptures, and I'm just like, heck do you do this? I would just be floored by watching them do, again, because I don't have that creativity side. Right. Watching them do this stuff, it's amazing.
That's fantastic. Well, and that's always great to see. I mean, especially when companies have that diversity of all, but also when you make that friendships that last years and years and years, and it's like you still talk to them later, and it's still like so. So from doing all that stuff, what kind of? I know you said you had done some stuff when you were back in university with your friend.
Yes.
So did that?
That definitely did.
Okay.
Definitely. That, as I say, opened my eyes, and I just got hooked. From, the club scene, and then about mixing and music, and and it was like just total.
So with nightlife, let's go to just like a little bit of the difference between nightlife and basically what you said in Cardiff. Yeah. So Cardiff nightlife, gay nightlife. Mm-hmm. To LA gay nightlife, is there a whole lot of difference, or is it very similar? Kind of like what do you consider as the similarities or whatever between the two?
So one of the big differences when I moved here and started working here it's changed a lot recently. I think it's got better. The gay scene was very segregated. you go
Here?
to
Yeah,
to
okay.
Silver Lake,
Right.
and it's the leather scene, or you go to the beach, and it was the sort of boy next door surfer,
Right.
or you get West Hollywood, you got like the sort of standard model or the muscle guys, and you go to like Apache or stuff in Studio City, and it was like again sort of boy next door. It was very interesting. I found that fascinating. Whereas in Europe, it's just a mesh.
It's just
you
a
go
mesh
to gay
of it
club,
all.
and it's like age all sorts and
right, because that's very true, and it's the nice thing about it now. You're right; it's starting to blend a little bit more.
I think,
but you're right, like Silver Lake was all your bears and daddies and all your older gentlemen with or the boys that like their older guys.
Yeah.
West Hollywood is very much twinks and twunks.
Right. I forgot the word twink. That's what I was trying to
twink
pick
and
up
twunk is our bread and butter here. Long Beach is very much it's more of a Hispanic community there with Hispanic gays.
True.
East Side for Silver Lake kind of switches, and then downtown's just exploded with gay nightlife, which is crazy. So it was more of like, here's a little bit more separate into individual communities, and there was just kind of like ollie.
It was just a
mesh of it all. What was your kind of your favorite thing about Cardiff nightlife to LA nightlife? Like, what are your two favorite parts about the two of them?
So I think the big difference in like Cardiff and London and Europe, it would change so fast. It was just like you'd have to know where to go, or find like a old school flyer or something, because it would change so fast. Like, and here it was a little more. It was more static.
Got it.
But then here you had this fantastic like sort of patio scene, like outdoorsy, which I love, and the pool party thing and that sort of stuff. Whereas because of the weather there, you were very much more enclosed. So I love that vibe out here.
Because it rains all the fucking time in
like,
England.
Commit suicide with the grey and the doom, which is why you drink a lot more there.
Makes sense.
Because you got to do something.
But that's the truth, though. I totally understand that whole outdoor scene is a lot more prominent here than it would be in there.
Like when we're talking about going to the Abbey in the afternoon, or some of the patios, which is wonderful.
And that's a great thing about, and I love it because West Hollywood and LA especially have this whole, like, especially outdoor dining too, where it's like you sit outside, you can people watch, you watch all the people walking around. A great place to go is just like pop a squat, like around Kitchen 24, the Starbucks over there. And you just sit there and just watch the fun traffic.
Watch the world go by. It's hilarious.
And then even when you DJ, I mean, you have a great spot from there at Mickey's sometimes. I'm just looking right out.
You raised up a bit, you see what's going on.
Oh yeah. So, and you have what would you say is your craziest funny story about seeing something from the DJ's booth? Like, what would you say was like? And you don't have to mention names unless you want to. But like, what would you say was like the weirdest or funniest thing you ever saw?
And I just like I just roll my eyes now, just like I would say with the way Billy does as well. I mean, it's like people trying to do inappropriate things, thinking that nobody's looking. I'm just going to use inappropriate as the word generically, but it just makes me laugh.
Zip your pants up, motherfucker. That's one of those. Zip it up.
Exactly. And you're just like, oh, good lord.
You just had that bird's eye view of just like,
and like to your point, you could pick it out instantly.
Oh yeah.
With practice now, because you can read the body language so much. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
So, what would you say is your favorite thing about being a DJ, and what would you say is your least favorite thing about it?
I mean, my favorite thing is, because people don't realize there's a ton of prep and a ton of legwork, right? And you get this argument where, okay, I'm going to pay you so much for this set, like 4 hour or 5 hour, whatever the regular set is, and a lot of people don't understand this. There's a lot of hours before that in a lot of legwork, finding sourcing the right music, finding the sort of vibe that you want.
Right.
But the wonderful thing about this is that sometimes I like find something like, oh my god, that was just perfect for whatever I'm doing like that. And so then when you play that, it's just wonderful to see the faces light up.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. So what would you say is is really the prep work the thing you don't like about it the most?
No. I still like. I was trying to think why am I so much?
I like because some of the people I've met, they said like they hate having to carry so much shit around.
I was just gonna say if it's the big event, it's the breakdown.
It's the breakdown
because everybody's left.
Yeah.
And you still know you've got a couple of hours, if it's like a private event or a warehouse thing to break down. But I mean, that's, it's just part of the territory.
Yeah. So do you usually end up, I mean, with nowadays a lot of things being a little bit more compact, do you end up still having a lot of stuff?
Yes, because I am really anal about sound quality.
You heard it here first, he's anal. Anal.
And I've realized this, and I'm like, okay, I'd much rather... so I'll use my own systems, like amps, speakers, and stuff like that.
Which
I
makes
want
sense.
it to sound the way I want it to sound. Because I I've gone to so many, and we're not talking about like in a nightclub, we're talking about like private event
Yeah,
spaces
yeah,
or
yeah,
a
yeah.
warehouse thing. And what they have is either just broken or
Okay.
just poor or just sounds awful.
Well,
and
also,
you're
you know
like-
how your equipment works.
Yeah, exactly. So even if you, to your point, I've rented stuff and you get there and it's broken or not working and then you're stuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, then you're screwed.
You are screwed,
Yeah.
So
Then
I
you
have
have nothing
all
to
my
play.
own stuff. It's all maintained.
Okay.
And I know, and if something goes wrong, I know, and I label it and I fix it
Got
for
it.
the next time.
Okay.
But you're going to love that stuff.
Yeah, well,
It's cardio
especially
to
when
the
you have the
extreme.
the speakers, the
Yeah, I have like
subwoofers, when you have any of that
Like,
stuff.
what do you call it? A 15-foot box trailer with that stuff. And
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
good
So
cardio.
those are usually for your private events.
Yeah, for the special events.
Yeah.
Yes.
So typically with clubs, they pretty much have a decent
Yes,
system.
they do.
Typically.
I mean, there's, and again, clubs are different.
Yeah.
You could go to the most beautiful, physical club, and it's just like you're looking at Radio Shack behind there. And I just, it's like, and the Tandy days or something, and you just go, oh my God. And you would. So it's interesting, there's places in LA and
Yeah.
places in San Francisco where the club, either the sound engineers or the club owner or manager, understand that sound quality keeps the dancers, meaning your customers, it keeps them dancing, keeps them drinking.
Right.
Because, you've all gone into places where it's like it makes your ears almost
Well,
bleed.
yeah,
right?
where
It's
you just hear it.
screeching.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. And I see that changing for the better now
Right.
with more people, when they do a remodel or whatever, they'll put in good stuff. It's interesting.
So, I know you do a lot, obviously, around the country. You've DJ'd so many other places.
Right.
What really brought you to stay mostly in LA and mostly in this kind of, and especially, I mean, the West Hollywood, downtown, Silver Lake area? Because, I mean, you do Mickey's, you do Revolver, do those places you do consistently. You do the Den.
Yep.
So what kind of kept you around this neighborhood, and kind of what made you want to stay?
I mean, those two places are classic examples of, to my point of being mixed customers.
Yeah.
And they are so rewarding to work there. Because, the customers are fun, and you've got, to entertain, different ages, different races, different backgrounds.
Right.
It's a good challenge.
Well, it's great because it's
one
a
type of
tourist
person.
town as well.
Exactly.
So you
get that influx as
Yeah.
well. And when I'm in San Francisco, I work a lot at the Lookout, which is a very, very similar vibe to Mickey's, where it's diverse, a great sound system as well, and wonderful customers.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So it's those where it's the customers appreciate a little bit of a different change. They don't want to necessarily hear the same thing or something like that.
Right.
It's all about, and I've made so many mistakes with this. It's all about educating, but not too much.
What do you mean by
when
that?
I say, introducing them to new things, but not too much new things. And it took me a lot. It took me many years to get that balance of popular fun and, injections of interesting new things to people then come. And, it's always a good night for me when I get several people ask me what that was.
Okay. See, because that's what I always find, and I usually find a lot of my music out and about of stuff I've never heard before.
Right.
So how do you, because I know it is such a delicate balance of making sure, because you want to know they can dance to something they know, so they know what they can dance to.
Yes.
Or to be able to sing along or do whatever and have fun with it.
Right.
What do you find is there some secret society of DJs that have this backlog of music that they all pull from? Because I know there's similarities on a lot of your guys' stuff, but there's so much different in between. So how do you discover you?
How I discover me, and this is not a scientific model, it's just poking in the dark, basically.
Right.
And it's back to that, it's a lot of legwork.
Okay.
There's no magic recipe, there's no magic place to go to. But what I do love is with Paolo, with Aaron, with Casey, and even Stephen Matthews stuff, we do trade in the sense of I was doing Portland Pride, and DJ Grant, who's adorable, comes to me and goes, I cannot find this. It's on one of your mixes. I absolutely love it. Can you help me with that?
Okay.
And so when it's
so it's kind of like this barter and trade kind of thing. You guys, I like this of yours. Can I switch you, or can I trade you for something?
Not even trading. It's like, of course, if it's and somebody who's super sweet and respectful, and you can help them out with that.
Because you obviously want to protect what if it's something original to you, or because I know there are a lot of DJs that make a lot of their own mixes, and they're very protective of
that's fair enough.
Not having someone do that.
I because I don't make my own mixes. Right? I'm far too lazy. But I mean, I would imagine it would be the most amazing feeling to have another DJ play your mix. I mean,
it's like
the
it's
most
an honor.
flattering
Yeah,
thing,
exactly.
You know?
Well,
But so, yeah, it's interesting. But you're right, some are protective, and I just think, that's not necessarily the best, smartest thing to do.
So the hardest thing, I think, for a lot of DJs are when they go somewhere, they don't even know the people or know the stuff. What do you find the hardest thing to do when you go to a new club or work with a new promoter?
Yeah, the hardest... So if it's somewhere accessible, you should always go as a customer. Okay. Right? And of course, whatever the club is, it's maybe have different nights. So you have to go to the vibe of the one they want you to do.
Got it.
And if it's, for example, a booking in another country where I can't go beforehand, I'm a nervous wreck. Okay. And I have to have a couple of Scotch shots. And I calm down. And you
just have to wing it.
You have to wing it. You spend the first, 15, 20 minutes figuring out what's working.
Got it.
And
well, I can imagine with other countries it's probably super difficult.
It is so difficult, and I found the most bizarre these big clubs in these big cities, the most bizarre things those customers like.
Really?
Never have guessed.
Okay.
Like weird, Britain American pop or honestly, I mean, stuff I would just never have guessed is what was working.
Really.
But it sometimes takes you up to 30 minutes to figure that sweet spot.
And also going into other countries, you have the whole songs that are in different languages that are popular there. Yep. How do you keep up with it all? Because there's a lot.
They'll try, and they'll be in the booth and they'll try and say, in broken English, whatever, what's it, Spice Girls song or something like. Are you trying to say this? And my language skills are terrible anyway, and they're trying to say that.
Oh wow! So what's so besides just winging it, do you have you play some general top 40, feel your way out, and then kind of what's your
a lot of remixed or past classic British pop as well, but with twists to it.
Got it.
So it's a lot more upbeat and faster, but there's that sort of note or flavor that people still recognize from that original song. So it's not totally, it's remixing. It's like a fine balance of not bastardizing the song. For example, if it's a good vocalist, don't ruin that. But put your own. It's like a balance.
And I found that's really because when I used to work at the bar scene in Kansas City, there was a lot of times you'd have these EDM DJs that would play the same song for basically 30 minutes, remixed to hell, and it's just
repetitive as heck.
And that honestly was an older demographic of DJs too, because they were very much especially with EDM, especially with dance and electronic and house music, they kind of would just repeat. Mm-hmm. What did you find with that? People like that, how do you find they do in the community with stuff like that?
And that drives me crazy.
Okay. Because I like that you said you want to keep the artist integrity of what they're singing, what they're doing, but still add flavor.
Right, and that's probably the toughest thing, I'm guessing. But the whole, it was a time in the US, and finally I see EDM blossoming nicely. Not, it was all the same.
Right.
I would play a song this is the same, and sometimes this is going back to the prep work. I would sit going through all these databases, and I'm like, this is just crap. This is just crap. It's like back in the days when you have a Casio keyboard and it's got the demo button on it, and everything sounded like the same software and the same filters that made it, and it would drive me crazy.
Well, because probably a lot of them have been.
Because at a point there's Tuesday when all the new music comes out, I would just be listening.
Tuesdays when they release all the new
stuff, and I'd be like, crap.
Got it.
And I would just be shouting at the computer screen. I really would. It'd be funny because I have friends with me, or they sit on a sofa in my studio and they'd just be laughing because I'd be cursing.
Just screaming at the computer.
How are you making this crap?
So, when you, especially with popular songs, because I know that's the DJ's worst nightmare of not screwing up a popular song. How do you go about top 40 stuff, finding what's either you or what you like, and then finding your own twist to it? Do you just have to sit, like you said, the prep would just sit there for hours and listen, or
and go
do you have a system on it?
No, it's just not. I wish there was and figured out. But it's just time going through. And then, but okay, so that's a good. I'm just thinking now you said that. So I will, because you can't listen to everything.
Well, no,
There's
exactly.
just not enough time.
No, exactly.
So I'll be skimming, and I will look for, of course, the original artist. Right. So that's number one. I'm speed reading the database because it's going through my screen. I know who remixes well.
Okay.
Or I love their taste.
Got it.
And so I will, if I don't know the artist, but I see them in the remixes, then I will go there and listen to it. So that helps a bit.
Okay.
But it's still, it's still just like we're going through it, I believe.
Got it. Okay.
And I'm sure other DJs have their own systems and stuff. I mean that's their way of doing it. I'd love to know an easier way.
Well, I don't think there's any. I mean, what really? How many hours, either a day or a week, do you think you spend on just research and all that stuff?
I would say probably about a day a week. Let's say about 8 hours a week.
8 hours a week. Okay, that's
and
a lot.
That's in the sourcing.
Right.
And then you grab the tracks
Got
you
it.
want. And then what I do, I tag elements in the track. Like for example, when the track starts, when a vocalist comes in, or where a certain beat comes in. It's like meta tagging. So it's like you have a cue point. So,
got it. Okay.
And up to you is if I usually have a minimum of 3 in each track. So you're listening to the whole track.
Okay.
And tagging where you want, so you know that I know I can kick into this cue point on that track when I'm doing some things, and it just makes it's back to the days where you'd had like your vinyl, you'd have like the time written on it or something.
Oh, really?
CDs, you'd write down like I want to go to this part.
Okay, and that's fascinating to me because it's always like, how do you know? Because you'll know there's some DJs where it's just like, oh, they have the worst when they transitions, and you're just like, and instead of where you want it to blend a little bit, or you play it just a little in the background, or kind of. Oh, and so
exactly the overlaps.
The overlaps. That's what it is.
Right,
It overlaps.
Right.
So how? So you're basically saying you cue your marks.
I tag through it each one.
Okay. And do you play? So you're listening to it while it's playing to know when to pull up the cue.
Yes. And then I'll stop and I'll tag and I'll kind of. And you get the process down after a while.
So,
but again, that takes a little bit of time. So that's included in my 8 hours, I would say.
Okay.
Right? Not like again. More.
And then so in total, like how much hours do you think you spend doing research and then doing your prep?
Like per week.
Well, just what's a general prep time for you? Like 3 hours, 2 hours, something like that.
Okay, so if again I'm not finding new music, I'm going through what I've got.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say a couple of hours.
Okay.
A couple of hours. Like if you've got everything you want, because it's interesting in the system I use. It uses the old terms.
Right.
It uses crates, which is like the old days, and so you create a crate for a particular event.
Got it.
And I'll pull things into there, and I may or may not use them.
Got it.
But that's the
They're just
pool.
there.
That's what I would pull from instead
Got
of
it.
everything. There's like thousands and thousands and thousands of tracks.
Oh, totally.
And the wonderful thing about the computer is that you can search like in a second.
Right.
Like somebody will come up and ask for the most weirdest thing.
I have.
And I honestly, and it must look like I'm clutching my pillows because sometimes oh my god, I actually had that. It's something so bizarre. But I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I had that. Yeah, I get that quite a bit, which surprises me.
Well, but the thing is too. I mean, because again, you probably get the most random requests because I mean, you're not gonna, like you said, you're not gonna know every song because there's hundreds and millions of whatever songs out there. So usually, how do you gauge with crazy people coming out to, especially probably crazy drunk people? How do you gauge it to say like, oh, I'll get to it, or just like, oh, I'll get to you later, or something like that?
And this topic is, I don't understand why myself, but it's a very touchy topic of requests or not requests.
Right.
I personally love them.
Okay.
Now, to your point, if you've got somebody crazy drunk, or let's just say that they've got a really weird request, and the most common thing is you're in the middle of a dance club and they'll come and ask for Bridge on the Troubled Waters. Aaron and I were just talking about this last night. They will ask for like a depressing song.
Okay. God.
And Aaron was. We were talking last night. We had dinner last night, and he goes, "Yeah, they come up to me. He goes, my friend's having a really rough day and wants to hear that song." And Aaron goes, "I love Aaron. So good. So do you want them to commit suicide with this song?" Because it was a really depressing song. It's a beautiful song.
And you're at a bar. You want to have fun.
You're at a club.
Yeah.
So what I tend to do is, I can't do that. But how about what else do you like? And then you
or like give me an artist or something like that.
You make them think they've still chosen a song, so they feel happy.
Got it.
And I mean, I'm all over the place. It's like ADHD with my mind.
Right.
So I love it when people ask me for something. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go in that direction, or something else.
Yeah, because your music's what I like about your music, because it's like I don't want to say my top. Never mind, I won't. But I won't list my top favorite DJs because then they'll kill me. The ones that don't.
I know.
But what I really like about yours is just, your flow is very smooth. Like you don't go from like random crazy EDM song to weird Kesha background. It just you flow very nicely. You keep it all within the same genres for the most part, and you will throw a funny, goofy one.
It's funny you say that. I used to be terrible. It took
Oh,
me
really?
a long time to get that. And I'd be screamed at, by the club or something. It's laying there, right? Over time. And I'm so happy. Thank you for that.
So let's see. Let's okay. So what is the? Maybe I did ask you that. What the weirdest thing a promoter's asked you to do?
Oh no. Was it weird? I had to drive a bus of strippers to a club in San Francisco.
Wait.
And I mean,
he had to.
No, meaning
drive.
It was a package deal. It was myself. It was a host, and it was 10 or 12 dancers.
Oh, like so they were on top of the bus, or
no, meaning so I rented a bus.
Oh, you okay?
And I was like, I don't trust any of these people to drive.
Right.
Half of them don't have legal licenses.
Right. Because they're strippers.
And I'm not a kid person. I can never have kids because I think I'm terrible, no patience.
Yes.
And literally, I was out of like serial mom or something. I was driving this bus, and like, what is it, 4 or 5 hours to San Francisco?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a fantastic experience looking back, but half the time I'm screaming at them in the back of the van to stop, look about.
Right.
And then we would stop to eat, and I would miscount, and then I'd look in the mirror, and one's running up the side of the freeway, and I felt so bad. So I'd be a terrible parent.
So basically, you were in charge.
Get them there, exactly. Worst, not supposed to be in charge of kids.
Well,
and then I don't want to sleep in his room when we get checking the hotel, and I just started shouting at them. And then I left my pillow. I'm like,
really?
Oh, you cannot write this stuff. But I mean, looking back, it was hilarious. But if I had hair, it would have all been pulled out.
If I had hair,
it would have been pulled out.
So that was the most weirdest request you've had.
Yeah, weirdest request and experience doing it.
Got it. What was what in LA? What's your most unique experience you've had DJing? Like, was it somewhere you had to DJ, or you got a DJ or something like that?
I think like I love doing the charity pool party. It's always so. I mean, I always have such great fun, and like we were saying earlier, like the host, under Billy or Hughes, come and give their time too. So we're all in it together.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
And you guys throw some really great pool parties during the summer.
Yeah,
you guys were written up in the FE magazine for Sizzle
a
few years ago, and you guys usually do stuff like around like Mondrian. I know you guys do a lot at I don't know what their pool has a name, but it's right next to Sky Bar area. You guys do stuff all around.
It's always nice for my favorites like the Life Group, which is like Sunny, and it's like a small charity, and all the money goes where it needs to, and there's none of this bureaucracy or red tape where it's like,
Or it's like the percentage of this percentage goes to a percentage of that
stuff. It goes to the extra people who need it. So that's something I've been very aware of the last few years. And you just you can just see it go straight there.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, and especially people like Billy that go and freely give their time to put on a great event, and then you're doing that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great.
It's so lovely because you're all in it together. Then
exactly.
And it's a family, and I've had a whole family thing with other DJs, like can you do this one for me? I can't do it, or I'm not feeling well, or will you help me with this charity event? And it's still really, really, really.
That's
lovely.
and especially this community. I mean, LA in general is a big charity community of. You have the LGBT Center, you have AIDS Project Los Angeles, AHF, Trevor Project, all this different stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things around here, and it's really great that leaders like you guys or people that are in the spotlight in the community that do give back and encourage other people too. So it's a big deal. Yeah. So we're going to play a fun little game. Nothing horrible. But it's.
This is where I get explosive diarrhea.
This is where the shade comes out. Hold on, we're gonna get this ready. So it's basically DJ true or false.
Okay.
And really, it's some misconceptions a lot of people probably have about DJs, but for you to kind of give us the truth, or if that's false as fucking, and just think people are just being shady.
Okay.
So first one, true or false? DJs are insane partiers.
50-50.
Okay. Would you say working or not working?
No, meaning they're either totally sober.
Okay.
And, just that thing. And it's usually by, and again, I don't know this as a fact, but it seems to be usually by choice.
Got it.
Because, to be fair, you could get sucked into drinking every day.
Everything.
Because
you're constantly at a party.
Because you're constantly at a party.
Right.
And so, honestly, when I think about all the ones I know, it's really 50-50.
Okay.
And the other ones, have a little drink. But I think the craziest time is when DJs are off work and they go out together.
Got it.
Oh my gosh.
They're just batshit crazy.
I mean, I'm just hilarious.
That
hilarious.
sounds like fun.
It's just you're putting, gas on the fire.
Okay. So, and then to the next true or false, are DJs alcoholics? Or high-functioning alcoholics?
Ooh, I'd say high-functioning. Now, and again, it's down to the individual.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you'll have, like you said, kind of 50-50, depends on what they really want.
And I mean, I know myself as a social experiment. I did a club one night sober, and meaning I didn't drink at all.
Yeah.
Not, being drunk all the time or something, but personally for me, I have to be on a similar level to there, and it helps with my creativity because I overthink everything.
Got it. It just kind of loosens you up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly that. Otherwise I'm like, I just can't.
Just calm
down, have a drink, Jesus.
And we kind of talked this a little bit, but also true or false, DJs don't mix their own music, and you saying it just kind of depends on the person.
It totally depends. As I said, I'm too lazy.
Okay.
Meaning I'm always in awe of people who do it, and
yeah.
most of them do, honestly. I probably think I'm in the minority. Because
okay.
I want people to say, you're really making this thief, and I'm like, I don't want to sit in front of the computer all the time.
Yeah.
Because I already do, and I'm already doing that. And it's just, I love getting other people's mixes from people I respect.
Got it.
And I love their style.
So it's more of just like you paying homage to their mix and sharing it out with people.
I love when certain people, I always follow them and stuff, but I think probably I'm in the minority as not doing it.
And then last one, which is, this will be the shady one. Mm-hmm. True or false, DJs or promoters, bitch.
Ooh.
Because it's hard to be, because you're still technically a client.
Yeah.
And you're the paid entertainer.
Yeah.
But you also may have an MC, you may have a promoter and all the stuff that goes with that. So who comes first when it comes to the hierarchy of it all?
I was just, this was a couple of weeks ago, talking about this with a couple of other DJs. What's interesting, it depends on the event.
Okay.
Now, so you'll get, and I think there's two sides to this coin. You'll get an event which is about the music as well.
Okay.
And then you get an event where it's not about, the promoter thinks it's not about the music, just do anything, have anyone.
Got it.
Totally depends. If it's do anything, have anyone, then you are a toll bitch.
Okay.
And you probably want to steer clear from that.
Got it.
Because it's not going to be...
Well, you're not going to
appreciate it, right?
Yeah.
As a perfect. Whereas you say, I really want you to do this one because it's perfect for your style, and I know customers will enjoy it, and you'll enjoy it, then that's wonderful.
So on the flip side of that, with MCs, because you guys are almost basically side by side almost the entire night,
yes,
because they have to rely on you to turn their mic on. Or in Billy's case, if he decides it, or he's just yelling at you, push a damn button, Billy.
And again, it depends on the technical ability of the club. So, for example, let's say Billy and myself, I prefer to control his microphone and he prefers that too. But it depends on the configuration. If it's going through the main board, which is not in reach.
Yeah. Which is in a whole other room.
Yeah, it's a whole other area, another room.
Right.
It's not as much fun because, for example, I can mess with his filters and make him sound like a hyena or something like that if he started to annoy me. And then, he will scream when I've got my headphones on and I just, bloody my eardrums because he's doing a sound check without realizing how high.
So it's more between the relationship between you and the MC.
You have to feed off each other, I think. And I mean, it's like a colleague of anything.
Yeah.
If it's a pleasure to work with someone, you
want to continue working with them.
Really, which is really quite naughty. I mean, Billy and I have been in the back of some important performance videos slapping each other because we're arguing about something, and they're supposed to be looking at the phone, which is really not very nice of us. But it's that chemistry thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a bad MC that were like, just shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, I had one, and this is, and he will laugh when I say this, Jason Wimberly, who I adore.
I love
He
Jason.
would always forget my name. And he'd go, anyway, And he'd look at me and I'd start laughing. I was not offended at all. It was hysterical. So still to this day, this was years ago, we laugh about it. Because, I mean, I'm terrible with names. Especially when you're on the fly.
Yeah.
But, it just would make me
And I mean, anyone who knows Jason, he's a total sweetheart.
Oh, gosh,
but
he's
so
just,
nice.
It was the look at his face. I just was crying with laughter because I'm like, oh, don't worry about it.
Well, and you're, I mean, quite honestly, you're the personality. You're very easygoing. It's very, everyone's like yelling or throwing shit at you, and you're just like, what's up?
You have to have a thick skin.
Right, especially in this industry.
And that just comes with time.
Yeah.
It's not something you can get like that.
Yeah. Well, we definitely want to make sure people come and see you. I know on the 13th you're going to be doing Surf's Up at...
yes, Revolver.
Revolver, okay. That's Sunday the 13th.
Yep.
And then Saturday on the 26th you're going to be at the Den LA for at Sanctuary.
Yes.
For the LAX studios.
Yep.
And then you how consistently do you do Ice Cream Sundays at Mickey's?
About...
So like every other
3-ish. So
okay.
I'm at Mickey's next Wednesday.
Okay.
But it's not an ice cream one. But yeah,
so what's the? Is it? It's not Hot Rod. That's Tuesday.
No, it is Hot Rod.
It is Hot Rod. Okay.
Yes, I believe so.
I always get so confused about the different dates with all these different bars.
I know. And then when people will say to me, "Oh, what's so and so day or whatever," I'm like, "Oh gosh, I have to like go and think myself."
Well, and also, I mean, you're doing it at so many different bars as well too. You got to make sure. Well, don't forget, everyone, check out Steve, DJ eur-O-steve. You can always check him out online as well. We've put his hashtags and his handles below on his lower third, so you can check those out. But definitely take him a look, and also you can see him at Revolver, Mickey's, and at the Den where he loves his bear daddies. We always want to thank you so much for coming, love. I had so much fun, and getting to know a little bit about more you and your craft and kind of how you do DJ, and it's a lot of fun, and I always enjoy it. It's a miracle it happens well.
What is going on there?
We want to thank everyone so much for tuning in this week. Make sure to tune in next week. We're going to have so much fun with our other guest, Kyle DeLang. So I'm excited for him. And then thank you especially to our partners here, the reasons we are here today for GayLifeLA.com and for White Rabbit Partners. Thank you guys so much. Tune in next week. We'll have so much fun again. And remember, this is Holding Court with the Empress of WeHo. And I've officially reached drag queen status on my phone. So, all right, thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.